write about the 1850s in this book. I mean, you write about 1850s in your Fremont book as well, but this is more in the partisan fray of the 50s and Lincoln's rise. Obviously, you write about the
Yeah.
presidency as well. And I think over the past few years, the 1850s has become the preferred decade of comparison to the 2020s, insofar as it's the thing that people now raise as a period of hyper-partisanship that ended really badly, and the fear that we are in one form or another in a similar morass, although only a very few scattered voices, I think, are predicting something like an armed civil war in the United States in the late 2020s. But what do you make of those comparisons? Are they overwrought? Are they overfraught? Are they eerily, scarily prescient? Where are you on that particular spectrum?
I think they're really valuable in that in each of those decades, ours in the 1850s, you see Americans in the basic system of our republic struggling with big differences as the system is under stress. And so there's something to learn. I don't think at this moment that we're heading for a civil war. I don't see how that would happen. The reason being is that I don't really understand what it would be about. In the 1850s, there was this dispute over slavery, which was not only human bondage for 4 million people, as if that wasn't enough to argue about. It was really an entire economic and social system of a large part of the United States, an economic and social system that the rest of the United States benefited from in different ways, even if they didn't participate in it. And so there were enormous, enormous questions about who belonged in society and who didn't, how the economy should be organized or not, who should call the shots or who not. There were enormous questions to wrestle with. And even though we have profound differences today, it's hard to see them as that same kind of division, just because so much of it is propaganda and performance and attitude and cultural touchstones and preferred media, all of which become real in a sense. I mean, they mean something to voters and they drive elections and they drive our divisions and how we feel. But would that many people really take up arms, millions of people take up arms to fight about them? I don't see that yet. I mean, the possibility of political violence, yes. I mean, that's always with us. And in fact, some kind of political violence is, almost any given year, you could find something that would fall into that category in America. There could be more, there could be less. I'm not worried about a civil war in that sense.
Steve, maybe you can talk a little bit about, pulling on that thread, just how animated people were to be fighting in the Civil War, because there were some striking examples of women signing up, the big question of whether Black people could serve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you could draw that contrast a little bit more between then and now. 'Cause it's really
Yeah. I
interesting.
mean, I believe Lincoln referred to it as a people's war. And that was a bit of rhetoric on his part, but it was also kind of true. Millions of people felt a personal connection to this conflict. There were even people on the northern side, and I'm sure on the southern side as well, who didn't feel they had particularly strong views about slavery even, which was the central issue of the war. But they were called to arms. They were called to defend something. They were called upon to leave home and to get an opportunity to get out and see the world and be part of something larger than themselves. And millions of people did sign up for that. Eventually, after many thousands died, they began to run out of people who were willing to have that experience, and they had to impose a draft, first in the South and then in the North. But it's clear that this was a conflict that touched many homes, that touched many hearthstones, and that many people found a personal reason for, whether it was slavery or defending the country or defending your home state in the case of some Southerners, or just an opportunity to prove yourself as a man, or, as you point out, as a woman. Not a huge number, but it's believed that at least hundreds of women disguised themselves as men and enlisted.
Mulan style, we like it.
Yeah.